We are back with Pillars of Eternity. And let's get... Oh, I forgot about you. Let's just get right into it. Alright, first need to talk to you. A dwarf paces with his head down and arms crossed, only stopping to hurl glances at the buildings behind him. His face is smeared dark with grime, and soot falls from his beard as he mumbles to himself. Work my hands into bloody stumps in this place, and for what? He kicks a mound of dirty snow. Start with nothing, leave with less. He extends his arm out. Who are you yelling at? At idiots, that's who. And I am as much to blame for believing them. The dwarf wrinkles his nose, nostrils flaring like a horse. Well, good riddance. Should have never settled here in the first place. Some things you mean to leave behind. Come to find out you packed them anyway. But I'm not leaving until I recover what's mine. They can deny me again after this. They can't deny me again, not after this. Okran gestures at the burnout buildings. Those sweet-tongued priests took my heirlooms. Buried the memory of my past, they said. Now I can't even have that. What priest? Wait, I take it you gave something of yours to one of Andra's gift bearers. Akron takes his gaze away from the ground and gives you a sideways glance. You're quick. Wish I had had those wits when they spoke of peace and redemption in the eye of the goddess. Those priests, Andra dogs, said the goddess would forgive, that some things are best left to be forgotten. He nods towards the nearby temple. Their leader, Laughter. I believed her words. Another one of them, a gift bearer, took my medallion. He closes his stocky hands into a fist. And now they won't tell me where it is. Your problem is that you give meaning to meaningless objects. Here, let me show you something. I need one of your rings. Akron draws back his hand, but Zahor gives him a trustworthy nod. After a moment's hesitation, Akron relents, dropping a jeweled band into Zahor's outstretched palm. Immediately, Zahor flings it into the freaking lake. See? You're not worth... He is gonna have us killed. So, okay. Decision made. He's only coming with us to White March. Because there's no way. You're no worse off. Akron's face, already splashed with pink from the cold, turns a deep shade of crimson, and his mouth puckers as though his head were about to implode. And after that, I wouldn't blame him. After a tense moment, his breathing slows and his fists unclench, his original look of pain frustration returning. And why won't they tell you? Because they think they know better, that's why. I said it was the only way I forget. What did you want to forget about your past? That was different. That was a different life. Better days. Until... Akron closes his eyes and shakes his head. Most of soot falls onto his hunched shoulders. It's my burden to bear, not yours. I thought to cast it away, but the memories I lost were all the wrong ones. Ooh. And what else did you give the priest? The dwarf casts a measuring look at you. He quickly turns his head away and nods. You would understand its value. My armor, a set finer than I've ever seen, but worthless to an old dwarf. I'd have traded it for the medallion, but fool that I was, I gave them both. Maybe there's something I can do. Not the kind of talk that I've grown used to these last few years, I admit. The priest may pretend otherwise, but folks here tend to look only after themselves. I'd be surprised if they return it willingly. They believe it's a sacred duty to cast the offerings to the goddess in some place where they are forgotten. Better to find where they dropped them, I think. And what's Lafta's role in all this? She leads the group of crows. They took over the temple as folks started to leave. Came to unburden those that sought to forget their misery here, they say. Tell me about this medallion. It belonged to my sister. It was just a pretty trinket to her. To me, the dwarf cast his gaze down. She was the last of my family. Least that still acted like family to me. Alright. I don't expect luck or grace I don't expect luck to grace me now, but if you find anything, I'll be here. Count on it. He gives you a vigorous nod. Okay. Save it.
Not a sound.
Perhaps if I adjust this like so, we'll talk to you later, but... Okay. Isla.
Oh, it's working! Yes! I can't believe it! It's really... Oh.
The dwarven woman looks at you, a disappointed expression on her face. In her hands, a large rectangular box, covered in strange dials and symbols. What's working?
My ore locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now, it seems to think you're a copper deposit.
Why are you voice acted? It's the...
My Animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case.
She studies you. And how does that device work?
It's actually quite sophisticated, if you'll forgive me a little professional pride. A mix of alchemical processes and scrying enchantments, and some very expensive crystals. I'm trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Pargrin dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype.
She holds up the metallic box.
Centuries ago, dwarves carrying tools just like this one followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere.
The battery?
I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find anyone to venture up the mountain since.
I can go up to the mountain for you.
Really? That'd be wonderful. I just have to adjust the device, you see.
Her hands move swiftly over the box, adjusting knobs and dials.
It should point you toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device. Thanks ever so much for this.
She hands you the box. Huh. Okay.
Keeping an eye out.
Oh yeah, I chose to send back Aloft while we were here. Just to see if there's something hidden. Shorts and hat. Fishery. I just want to make sure we look everywhere before we start entering buildings. What are you doing? Is something still on fire? Kitty.
And what does the flame reveal?
We get the rest of these flames put out. Go on and have yourself a drink. Okay. I'm gonna be sick. I should have took that ring. That's what I should have done, but we aren't the type. Let's see. Nope, not yet. Okay, so let's just go. And this is the temple. We just need to look up right now. Then we'll go from there. Okay.
Don't see the harm. Building's thirsty work.
Progress rest. Save. Alright, that was it. A godlike. The man startles visibly at the sight of you, though he attempts to hide it with a queasy smile. Because we're godlike?
Say, you're the one we have to thank for fighting off the ogres, right? Never thought I'd see one of the god-touched.
Let me know when you do.
I would have helped fight them monsters off, you know, if I didn't think I'd just get in the way. And with you there to handle things, everything turned out well enough, didn't it? Don't see why Havrick's still sour at me.
What's this about Havrick?
Oh, Havrick's the innkeeper over at the Grave's Rest. I may have been hiding in the inn when the fighting started. The raid didn't improve his disposition any.
He calls.
Did you know he has a whole case of Fenland liquor in there?
Oh,
I keep offering to buy it off him, but he says he's saving it up for when the battery's open again.
What is this
As
battery?
if we're gonna last that long. Anyhow, he said he'd thrash me up and down the mountain if I didn't leave him be.
You hid away while everyone else risked their lives.
That's, that's what Havrick said, actually. Look, I'm not proud of it, but I'm no warrior. What am I gonna do? Throw a net on them?
It seems reasonable to want to save it for special occasions.
It's delusional is what it is. Point of fact, what with you dealing with ogres and everything, maybe you'd, you know, be willing to help me out.
Nah. From saving the town to swiping liquor, that's progress for you.
Havrick keeps all the good stock in the inn cellar. Out of sight, you see. I mean, it's bound to be under lock and key, but I'm sure he wouldn't miss a single bottle. Not with everything that's going on.
And what does stealing wine for you have to do with fighting ogres?
Well, Havrick can be a little intimidating when it comes to his beverages. But otherwise, not much, I guess.
He gives a strange smile. You know what? I'm not going to rob the innkeeper for you.
Shh, all right, keep it down. I didn't mean anything by it. But if you happen to come across some, then maybe you could share?
Okay, that's different. Okay. Let's see. We're in... I hate this. Renegade in her home. It's split. That's fine. Where is her home? I think it's this one. Nope. This is it. Okay. You have to talk with Renegade. I'm just a messenger. Let's just go in. I feel like this is an immediate thing. You see a middle-aged woman and a younger man locked in an argument. Both wear clothes streaked with blood and dirt. The young man turns to the woman, a fresh cut visible above his eye.
They've destroyed the stockade, Mother. It's...
Ooh.
Enough. They're gone.
A portrait. She holds up a hand which is missing the final joint of the ring finger. But it's her voice sharp and steely that silences the young man. As he glowers at his toes, she turns to you with the dark circles under her eyes, and a smile pulls taunt across her thin lips.
The deliverer of Cadnua. Thank you for making the journey. Abida knows it's a long one. Well, I'm sure you wagered on a more civilized welcome. Still, we're much obliged for your capable intervention.
She takes a slow breath and shoots the young man a brief but stern glare. He pulls a knife from his belt and an apple from his pocket and sets to work. Oh yeah, Durgan's battery. Now, what is it that we know about that? You know what? It was an honor. It was an honor to be called here.
That's fine of you to say so, though I'm hoping your strengths lie more with arms than words.
She folds the map in her hand with a quick and merciless pinch.
Stalwart isn't much more than a grease stain on a map. What roads we've got in the White March are basically tracks in the snow. And for every trader or adventurer that comes through, 3 of our own leave for good. But it weren't always so. There was a time when kings and queens sent their firstborn to these mountains, when the White March was the envy of empires.
Her eyes shine, and for an instant she looks like a younger woman. Nothing endures forever. Even the foundation of old Valia eventually cracks and crumbles under the weight of 2,000 years. What an era that must... what does this have to do with me, actually?
The Pargrin dwarves transformed the White March once. We could bring some of that greatness back to Stalwart. But we need the White Forge.
I don't know of it. She raises the map and taps a spot in the middle of the white and gray expanse. You know what? That's just it.
Then you'll know that no one's felt as much as a summery breeze from the White Forge for over 200 years.
She smooths the creased map.
I'm hoping you can do something about that.
She ignores the young man who shakes his head at the cracking logs. How so?
We've been trying to breach Durgan's battery for over a year now. Problem is, the other expeditions can't so much as dent the front door.
She rubs at her fatigued, shadowed eyes. Why the sudden interest in the White Forge?
We're an old mining town. Or we were until the Adirans pulled out and left us with a half-dug mine shaft and something resembling an inn.
White Forge. And she thumps a sturdy wooden wall with her fist.
Since then, it's been a steady decline. You've seen the roads. Isn't much we can produce that the Valians can't ship cheaper.
It is what we do.
But the White Forge, well, if we could fire it up again and start producing Durgan steel or something close to it, wouldn't matter if we're in the White March or the Living Lands, business would come.
She nods her arms and gives you a stiff nod. The young man says nothing, but he tosses a sliver of the apple peel into the fireplace. Tell me about these expeditions.
A dozen different groups have come through at our request, and several more besides. Been hoping that one of them could clear the way through Durgan's battery. But young or old, green or seasoned, it don't seem to matter. They cast their spells, chisel at the door, and search the grounds until they've worn new treads into the old stone. The lucky ones eventually go home. Plenty more find themselves on the wrong side of a blizzard, or an ogre raiding party.
And that's why you need my help?
That's the long and short of it. We're laborers and fisherfolk, not adventurers.
Fair.
But Durgan Steel could put Stalwart on the map again, open up the mines, bring in new business. We just need the White Forge.
She thumps the desk with her fist. And why is this so special?
Because you can shave stone with it, cleave cast iron in two, and the stuff's as rare as it is remarkable.
In her enthusiasm, Renegade shifts on the ball of her feet. She props one bent arm on the other, pointing distractedly towards the eaves of her house. Still is still. It may be light and it may take an edge well. But per Complanca, the legend grows with each passing year.
If we could make something even half as good, we'd have a market at our doorstep and work enough for all of Stalwart.
For a split second, her gaze flickers to Aldrich. And what happened to Durgan's battery?
It don't bear dwelling on. There's too many superstitions about that place as it is.
She gives her mangled hand in a broad crescent, averting her eyes.
Killed each other off, or so the old books say.
Okay. He glares at Regingild through hooded eyes.
Plenty of tales to go around, but none of them open the battery.
She scowls at him.
And the last thing people need is another reason to fear the place. Whatever it was, the other Pargrin dwarven settlements in the White March, Bone Picker, the Hawk, and the rest, emptied out not long after, moved to gentler, greener lands.
Had the right idea, if you ask me.
How is it that no one's gotten into Durgan's battery yet?
Where should I start? Ogres, blizzards, or sheer damned inaccessibility?
She ticks the items off of her on her finger.
It ain't for lack of trying, I'll tell you that much. Got untold riches in Durgan steel lying just inside, and never mind the White Forge itself.
Ooh.
The Adirans who first settled Stalwart tried to crack it. So did the Valians, and every other cocky adventurer with more metal than sense.
She folds her arms, shaking her head at a pity floorboard.
But the place has a funny way of sealing itself up. Front door stays shut, the tower entrances are clogged with rubble, and it's been impossible to blast a way in.
Regingil trails off, and for a moment the room is silent, but for the popping and cracking of the fire. Tell me about the Pagran dwarves.
Pargrin's a word in their language.
Pagrans.
Means traveler. They've been wanderers for generations, but I couldn't tell you much more.
I don't see why you need the White Forge to make good steel.
Finally, someone talking sense.
He raises his knife and half-peeled apple to the fire in a dramatic gesture of exasperation.
Durgan steel wasn't just good. It was some of the best. We need the best if we're going to keep Stalwart alive.
She glares at Oderic even when she speaks to you.
No one alive today has seen the White Forge, but the old stories tell that it was powerful, glowed white-hot, and gave off a steady, even heat, unlike any other furnace. Let better-schooled folk puzzle over how the thing was built. I just want to see it put to use.
She waves a hand. All right, any idea where I should begin?
The battery's up the mountain to the north, a good hike away.
She jerks her head in the direction of the slope behind the house.
Near Galvino's place, huh?
Oderic says it in a breezy tone, but Renegade falls sudden silent. Consternation hardening the lines on her face. He smiles and draws his knife across the apple again.
So it is. Though I was going to suggest dealing with that ogre camp before anything.
She compresses her thin lips into a frown. Who's Gavino?
Mestre Galvino, as the old crosspatch prefers it, lives by himself and keeps the wilder and beasts at bay through sheer foulness of his temper.
Huh.
She means to say he's a skilled smith and animancer,
Ooh.
who's lived in the shadow of Durgan's battery for over a decade.
He looks over his shoulder at you and Renegade. I say that's worth mentioning. Sagani folds her arms.
And he butters his bread on both sides and fits his left shoe before his right. But that's neither here nor there.
She crosses her arms and crumples the page in one tightening fist. Deception or intellect? Is this your husband or something? You know what? You seem flustered up. You know what? Seem odd that he lives in the wilderness by himself.
Not doing much worse than any of us.
Oderic speaks to you, but his eyes are fixed on Renegade in sullen mischief.
Huh. He wore out his welcome in Stalwart. He's better off with ogres and Lagufoth as his neighbors now.
Lagufoth. Her laughter is a quick, angry bark. And what happened with Gavino?
Old lunatic finally went too far. And we sent word to the Valiant Academies.
Oh, crap. She frowns.
I don't like speaking on it, but if you want to get his guff, just remind him that we gave him the boot.
I see.
Ain't nobody here fond of the man, but he's a clever hand and a quick study. It's a fool who thinks he stayed so close to the battery without figuring something about it.
Smart.
You said as much to the last party, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since. Maybe they didn't run afoul of Baragon's ogres after all.
She raises the gray eyebrow at him. Oderic shrugs and turns back to the fire.
Just watch your step. Galvino's place is a ways east of the battery, and folk who pass it bring unsettling tales.
She shakes her head. Tell me about the ogre camp.
Belongs to Flames That Whisper, Matron Baragon's clan. Hunters tell me they've been active of late.
Hunting elk and otherwise minding their own damn business.
He pops an apple wedge into his mouth and chews it aggressively.
Minding their own business. Never mind the latest expedition's disappearance or the broken stockade.
She pinches the bridge of her nose, squinting.
I'm saying we shouldn't agitate him further.
He makes the toss another slice of peel into the fire, but he fumbles and drops his knife. He bends to pick it up, cursing. What does this matron have to do with anything?
The brawl outside was just the latest patch of trouble. The ogre clans are getting bolder.
Oh.
And we'll all sleep easier knowing they aren't circling our walls. Also, Baragons like to have whatever the last expedition found. Rumor has it they disappeared near her turf.
She crosses her arms and looks over at Aldrich.
Killing a matron will only make our problems worse. The way to approach Baragon is with your hands held high.
If anyone could parley with an ogre, I suppose it'd be you. But they aren't known for their patience with prattle.
All right, got it.
Good. Before you leave town, stop by the Grave's Rest. Most visitors to Stalwart spend some time there, so Hafric and his patrons may be able to give you the lay of the land.
Okay. Don't know about you, but I'm parched all of a sudden. Actually, I want to ask
What's
about
on your
something.
mind?
I want to know more about Stalwart.
Adir founded us back in their colonial days to
Adir.
supply ore to the Empire. Saw a fair bit of traffic from both sides of the White March then.
She rubs the nub of her shortened ring finger.
But after the Deerwood claimed independence, Defiance Bay found cheaper places to get ore. Didn't have much reason to maintain our supply routes.
But isn't Stalwart part of the Drywood?
Officially. Though with the state the roads are in, you wouldn't guess it.
Tell me about some of the most important places around town.
Here in the center?
I know we thought there's the
Let's see.
fishery.
The Grave's Rest is next door. Hafric can set you up with a room and a hot meal there. The fishery's just on the edge of the lake, and the Temple of Andra is next to it. No one keeps a secret like Lavda. Or so I'm told.
Okay.
A few folk live in this part of town, too. Seemed a lot safer before the ogres broke through the western gate. Thiersch lives next to the old mine shaft, and Tana, the old mine overseer, is next door to me.
She jerks her thumb towards the wall. So what do you do here?
I'm the mayor.
Okay.
Or so I'm reminded every time there's a game shortage, ogre attack, or a neighborly dispute. I'm a builder by trade, though. Traveled all over Air Glonfoth and the Deerwood in my younger days, but ended up back here anyway.
She gives you a vague smile that goes as quickly as it appears. Let's talk about something
What's
else.
on your mind?
Can you tell me about the last expedition that went to Durgan's Battery?
They didn't volunteer much, and I knew better than to ask.
She scratches her jaw, frowning.
I've seen all types charging through here. Professional companies with shiny new equipment as brazen as you please, and hopeless runts with nothing but tattered leathers. But these folk, I don't know what they were after, and the way they looked at you made you feel cold all over.
Oh, please don't be the... Oh, what is it? What's the name of these people? The Leadenki, the people of Wotica. She shakes her head as if dislodging a bad
I
dream.
wish I could tell you more. What's on your mind?
I have a question about Durgan's Battery and the White Forge.
The Pargrin dwarves guarded it like a mother bear.
Okay.
It's a wonder we know as much as we do.
Want to ask about something else?
What's on your mind?
That's it. Farewell. Alright. Okay, next is that's stealing, of course. Let's unlock.
That's settled.
Oh, that's cool. But judging from the large hole behind the gills, it can be safely assumed this trophy fish was shot with a pistol and not caught by a hook or a net, which was in here. What about you?
Something
Odor?
else you need?
You seem to disagree with Renegade on quite a few matters.
Mother's convinced that a magic forge will turn this frozen crack into a hub of civilization.
He shrugged.
She can't accept this place is dying.
This is your home. You can't just give up on it.
Give up on what? There's nothing here.
He scrapes the sole of his boot on the straight but weathered floorboards. What do you do here?
I'm a carpenter. Mother's a builder. So it felt like a good fit at the time.
He presses his lips into a wry frown.
Not that we've got a lot of new folk to build houses and furnishings for. These days, I spend most of my time fixing up the stockade.
Earlier you said I should make peace with Matron Berrigan.
About the only thing folk here haven't tried. Killing one more matron won't change things for long.
Okay, he shakes his head.
Besides, her clan's flames that whisper. The one that attacked us was Wolf with many mouths. I'd know him anywhere.
You're a smart person, okay?
They're cut from the same cloth, Aldrich.
Oh, come
Only
on.
a matter of time before Baragon marches through that gap in our walls.
At the sound of Renegade's voice, Aldrich's shoulders stiffened. His jaw works in a silent but furious retort. So what do you know about, do you know anything about Durgan's battery?
It's a fool's hope. A fantasy that's kept these parts inhabited longer than they should be.
He glances around the old house and its worn furnishing.
They say the Pargrunan dwarves developed Durgan's steel, became powerful, rich. And then one day, they locked their doors and died.
Oh, he shrugs, turning his palms towards you.
Nothing like a mystery to stir folk up. Most of Stalwart is convinced that some Pargrin secret'll save us all. But that don't stop them from whispering a prayer when they pass the old fortress.
A sour smirk crosses his lips. Okay, farewell. Save it. What was that? Been looking at... Who are you? Another messenger? Teledor. Who are you? What is happening with all these people? The man is sweating despite the cold. He opens his mouth to speak, but all that comes out is a long hacking cough. He bends forward, bracing his hands on his thighs while he heaps and gasps. After a lengthy duration, he raises a finger, still panting. Oh, Herfix. Fault. Damn fool sent me to get to the other side of town, looking for you. At last he stands up. He wipes his dripping brow with the back of his hand and then offers that hand in a shaking greeting. Shake his hand. Pleasure to meet you. I'm the captain of the militia around here. What's this? Nice to meet you. I wanted to catch you before you went running off into the wilds. See, there's a few dangerous folk you might be on the lookout for. Plus, if you're heading out to Long Watch Falls, I thought you might want to pick up a thermal pearl for me. He looks away and twists the toe of his boot into the snow. You want me to find a thermal pearl? That's the thing. I already found it. I just need someone else to go get out and get it. Saw it on the hot springs up near Long Watch Falls. Would have grabbed it myself, but that's when I looked around and saw the Lagafet. Must have been 50 of them. He spreads his arms wide. I would have fought, but I started to wonder what the rest of the stalwart would do without me, so I ran, for the sake of the village, of course. Tell me about the Long Watch Falls. It's east of the stalwart. Got some nice views of the valley, but most folks avoid it these days. Plenty of water nearby, and it only takes a few inches of snow to block the pass. If you're heading out that way, I suggest talking to a Thrisk first. He might have something to help you deal with the Lagafet. What is a thermal pearl? They form in the hot springs, something to do with all the minerals in the water. Smells kind of funny, but they're full of minerals. Just have to crumble them into a pint. He grins and you notice that his gums are bleeding. Oh, they cure scurvy. Like I said, the pearl's in one of the thermal pools near Long Watch Falls. It shouldn't be hard to spot. That's all I need to know. Stop by Thrisk's place before you leave town. Here's the house next to the mines. He's a veteran hunter who knows the wilds better than anyone. You said something about the dangerous folk in the wilderness? We get our share of crazies out here. Most of them aren't even from the village. He laughs at his own joke. Last groups I've heard of were the Gleaming Society and the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull. But Renegade set aside some bounty money to see that these troublemakers were taken care of. You bring me the heads of their leaders and I give you the payment. I want to know about the Sister of the Slaked Skull. That'll be Metzla. All the members of the Sisterhood worship Barath by singing as many folks back to the well as they can. He shivers. Life and death. They've been poking around Durgan's battery, and well only knows why, but you can understand why no one around here was pleased to hear about it. Passed through town recently, didn't stay long, but they stopped at the Temple of Andra. You might see if Laughter knows something. If you come across them, be careful. They're unpredictable. What about the Gleaming Society? Crazy pack of radicals that wants to topple governments and kill the wealthy. Makes the War of Defiance look like a fool fight. Duke Aver and the regent of Red Ceres both declared them illegal, which is probably the only thing those two would agree on. Anyway, check Long Watch Falls to the east. That's where they were last seen. Okay. Remind me of the pearl. Oh, that's all I need. Stop by Thresh before you leave. Here's the house next to the mine. He's a better. Yeah. And this is a task. The rest. Save. Let's go in. Bard.
Feels like home. Only thing this place needs is some sliced blubber and a dozen romping foxes.
A child. Bard. I can smell the smoke even in the sea. The hell, something with a lover. I'm scared. Oh.
Still can't feel my fingers.
Oh crap. What's your name? Farah?
Thought I'd found shelter when I stumbled across this little village. Guessing you did too, huh?
Farah raises a frosty milk to you, even though the warmth of the hearth reaches you here. Her hands are wrapped in rye wool and her ears muffled by a hat. Her face has the taunt, wind-beaten look of someone who recently come from the road.
As much blood as there was in the streets, I'm lucky the ale's still flowing.
She takes a drink and she tilts her head back, and you see a bruise purpling her jaw and a crimson bloom of scarped knuckles. What exactly happened?
Thought all the whispers about Durgan's battery were just village superstition. And maybe they are. But I might have been on my guard if I'd listened. I was part of an expedition, hunting for relics from Durgan's battery. And picked up a good haul, too.
She takes a slow swallow of her beer.
So it figures that's when the winds pick up and the sky starts dumping snow. We lost sight of the road. Meanwhile, something else found us. Took Liam out before we even realized we were surrounded. And then we see him coming out of the snow. These little four-armed wilder. Lagufoth, they're called.
She shakes her head, staring at the embers in the fire pit.
Quick little bastards. Francesca and I held them off as long as we could, but when they filled her full of darts, I turned tail and ran. Found my way here and thanked my luck for escaping the Lagufoth. Then come to find out that this town's got an ogre problem.
So what are you gonna do now? Wait, so I'm sorry to hear about your friends.
That's a kind sentiment.
She nods.
I'll mourn them when I get home. But I've got to retrieve our haul if I'm to have any hope of that. I need to get those artifacts. Not that I'm in any shape to go after them myself. But I can't afford to return to Defiance Bay without something to show for my expedition.
Defiance Bay? Apprehension creeps into her expression. She stares into her mug, swirling its contents.
But you've got your own expedition to the battery, don't you? While you're out there, maybe you could look for my goods. Whatever's left of them.
She looks up from her mug, hopeful.
I'll give you a cut for anything you bring back, of course. I ain't asking for charity. I just can't afford to go home empty-handed.
She brushes her nails across the side of her mug as that anxious look returns. Tell me what you're looking for.
Like I said, we were treasure hunting near Durgan's battery when we were ambushed. What else do you want to know?
Oh, examine her teeth. As Farah talks, you notice that her teeth and gums are stained with green spots. What does that mean? Dark spots, dark spots. Renegade told me that another expedition came through before I arrived. Was that you?
Who? No, that would have been somebody else. We didn't meet with Renengild, or anyone else in town for that matter. We were operating on our own.
She looks into the fire pit, taking another drink. So what do you know about the battery?
Just that it's been locked up tight for 200 years on account of those dwarves having a row.
She shrugs.
Which means that any trinkets from inside fetch a nice price. Sorry, I'm more of a businesswoman than a historian.
Why are these relics so important to you?
We took out several loans to pay for our trip out here. I'm gonna have trouble if I don't pay them back.
She scratches the back of her... See, this is... I don't know if she's on drugs or if she caught something. Remind me where I can find your caravan?
What's left of it should be near Durgan's battery. If you stumble across the Lagufoth, you'll know you're close.
Okay, something's up. And she took a piece into her heart. Injured and Brooklyn.
Owena! Go check on that Orland. Make sure he don't steal nothing.
That is fair. Let's talk to you then. My friend.
Never seen such a bloodbath. Feels like we got half the town's survivors in here, just drinking to forget it.
The dwarf surveys the crowd, his expression sober despite the half-empty flagon by his hand. He shakes his head and looks at you, remembering himself.
But you must be looking for some refreshment, too, after the way you handled them ogres. Or perhaps a room. Say the word and I'll give that shifty little Orland the boot.
He nods at you with a gruff camaraderie. What Arlen?
Showed up a few days ago. Sticks his nose out of the back room just long enough to empty his chamber pot.
He squints towards the hall as if daring the Arlen to show himself.
Up to no good, I tell ya. I'd like nothing more than to see him gone, but I don't want to ruckus over it.
What makes you think he's trouble?
I'd appreciate it. And I suppose I
Oh,
don't need
crap.
to remind
I
you
could
that I
talk
don't
to
want you
him.
to hurt him. I'm sure you can find a more discreet way of handling the problem.
He gives you a meaningful look. I didn't want to do that.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
I thought you might want to know that Reginald asked me to steal your... Oh. Very well. What? Let's see. Bounty, sacred. Oh, we're still part 1. Cut, caves, the battery. Okay. Actually, I pressed the wrong thing.